Good morning everyone, Alistair McMillan here from Stellamar. I'm bringing to you a slightly more festive edition of the Stellamar News Bulletin. Given the time of year, we thought it would be a good idea to give a bit more of an overview as to what's going on from an employment perspective. Today we're going to be focusing on the maritime industry, predominantly talking about technical roles within the maritime space. So hopefully you can plan accordingly for what's coming next in your career. The employment outlook, particularly within maritime for technical specialisms, is actually looking quite positive. There are a number of areas that Stellamar specialises within, particularly within gas tankers, which has been particularly buoyant for us, but across the industry. So a number of ship management and vessel operations roles, particularly for roles ashore, have been quite prevalent, and we've seen a huge demand for professionals within that space. We're also seeing a large demand for other areas of the tanker market, particularly within crude and product. And outside of the tanker market, we're also seeing an increase in demand for yacht management professionals. So that would be individuals to work on behalf of yacht management companies within technical specialisms such as technical managers, fleet managers, technical superintendents, all of which we've been recruiting for quite heavily in the last 6 months. So despite the downturn in some areas, we are seeing an uplift in other segments. So whilst on the outset it looks like there might be a little bit of negativity in the market, we are feeling quite optimistic and quite positive, not just for now, but for the future. Some of the key trends that we're seeing at the moment is that employers are looking for more diversity of skill sets for new hires. So rather than previously, employers would be looking at someone that had quite a narrow or niche skill set, they're now looking for people that have additional ancillary skills that they can add to that role. So rather than being just a specialist within refit, they might be looking for someone that has additional project management capabilities, as well as having slightly more commercial capabilities. On top of that, what we're seeing is that traditional roles within ship management would also require someone to have slightly more commercial capability than they would have done previously. So for the employer, when they're hiring someone that has a wider range of diverse skills, it means that they can be more flexible in where they deploy your resource throughout the organisation. It also allows for them to be able to plan for where you'll be able to progress within the business. So overall, if they're making a hire and they're seeing that you have potential additional skills that you can bring to the table further down the line, it's a big benefit to them. Obviously for you as a job seeker, if you're bringing that to the table, it presents you with a wider range of options for potential roles that you could go into. I don't think that anyone can be under any illusions that COVID-19 has played a huge part in the employment market, not just in the maritime industry, but beyond. Within our segment, obviously the cruise industry has been massively hit, and we've seen a number of job losses within that space. However, what I would say is that this time has been a unique opportunity for a reset, which we've heard on a number of occasions from various governmental sources and various people in leadership roles. And it's true that this reset has allowed organisations to be able to look at themselves and be able to see where the skills are, where they can be deployed, and where the gaps will then be further down the line. Within that kind of situation, there are always opportunities. And I've spoken previously about what some of the trends that we're seeing are, and there are always, regardless of changes, there are always skill gaps and opportunities for people. So whilst there have been some real negatives over the course of the last 12 months, particularly as a result of COVID, what we're now seeing is a real upturn of activity. Organisations are starting to think, okay, how can we prepare ourselves best for the next phase? And ultimately, the next phase is growth, because everyone's been retreating. So now, the retreating is over. We're now taking stock of where we are and where we want to be, and how we're going to get there. And ultimately, if we're going to be pushing forward, we're going to need people to help us achieve those goals. So whilst right now things might still be a little bit bleak, I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. When when we get towards the end of the tunnel, there's going to be a huge amount of opportunity for everyone. So obviously, as I've mentioned, I see a lot of positivity ahead. So I think there's a lot of opportunity coming. What we have seen over the course of the last couple of years within Maritime is that there's been a big focus on a number of key agendas that we are starting to see the benefits from. Sustainability, which has obviously been a key agenda over the course of the last couple of years, will continue to be, and even more so in the next couple of years. There's going to be a huge amount of opportunity for professionals that have experience and an understanding of how to make our industry more sustainable, with more of a focus on carbon emissions and what we're doing to combat those. So certainly green shipping is going to be a major part of what's going to be driving the growth in employment over the course of the next couple of years, and something that we've been taking quite a close eye at in recent times is marine technology, autonomous shipping, but also how we use technology to make our vessels more safe. And that's going to be something that's really going to be driving the growth of the sector. We're going to see a lot more of a focus towards technological roles within the sector rather than traditional ship management roles. So my advice to job seekers, and it's actually always been the same, but it remains super important and will continue to be even more important as we navigate these difficult times, is how do you stand out and what makes you different to one of your competitors in the job market. We spoke a little bit earlier about creating diversity in your skill set, in your portfolio, and how important that is to potential employers. So particularly within ship management and vessel operations, if you're a technical professional, so coming from a nautical or engineering background, working for a ship owner or a ship management company, something that will really help set you apart versus someone else that's applying for the job, in my opinion, would be a stronger commercial background. So how can you demonstrate that you understand the commercial element of ship management better than someone else that's applying for the role? And the reason that that's important is that the majority of the people that you'll be applying for the role against will have the same skill set, the same background, the same vessel type experience, the same qualifications as you do. But how can you benefit the organisation in the long term? What will you bring to the organisation in 5 or 10 years that other person won't? So to be able to demonstrate that with an MBA or a bachelor's in business administration, or even going and doing some kind of diploma, or sort of just learning outside of the workplace about how a ship owner or a ship management company operates from a commercial perspective, will allow you to be able to demonstrate that in an interview, will be massively beneficial. So for me, best advice I can give you is add some more commercial strings to your bow and be able to demonstrate that in discussion at interview. So in conclusion, the outlook is positive. There's obviously a few more obstacles to navigate and a few more hurdles to jump over before we're in the clear. But certainly for all of you technical professionals in the maritime industry, the future is bright. So as we come to the end of what's been quite a challenging year, I'd just like to take the opportunity to wish you all a Merry Christmas from everyone at Stellamar, and looking forward to speaking to some of you soon.